The CRA takes thousands of dollars from your paycheck before you even see it. It's a fact of life in Canada. But what if I told you they left a back door open in the tax code? A door that lets you legally take back $5, $7, even $10,000 a year. Today, I'm giving you the key. We're raised to believe that tax is a one-way street. The government takes, and we pay. We hire accountants to make sure we pay the right amount, but we never ask them how to pay the least amount. That's because most of us are playing defense. We're just trying not to get audited. The wealthy? They play offense. They don't see the tax code as a rule book. They see it as a playbook. And today, I'm going to teach you a few of their most powerful plays. I'm going to break down the legal CRA-approved system I use to redirect up to $10,000 a year from their pockets back into my family's pocket. Here's what we're going to cover. First, we'll expose the big tax lie that keeps 99% of Canadian couples overpaying year after year. Second, I'll give you the step-by-step mechanics of 3 powerful strategies that you can stack together: the income switch, the medical multiplier, and the RRSP Afterburner. And stick around to the end, because I'll show you exactly how the math on these 3 strategies adds up to that $10,000 refund check. Let's start with the big lie. The Canadian tax system is fundamentally broken. It was designed in the 1950s for a single-earner household. Today, that's not reality. But the system hasn't caught up. It actively punishes families where one partner earns significantly more than the other. Think about it. 2 couples. Couple A. Both partners earn $100,000 each for a total household income of $200,000. Couple B. One partner earns $200,000 and the other stays home for the same total household income of $200,000. Who pays more tax? It's not even close. Couple B gets absolutely hammered by taxes. The government sees that one high earner and taxes them at the highest marginal rates, ignoring the reality of the family unit. This feels fundamentally unfair, right? It's like you're being penalized for how your family chooses to structure its life and career. This is the problem. You are paying tax as an individual, but you're living life as a family. And the gap between those 2 things is where the CRA is making a fortune off of you. Most people just accept this. They see their T4, they see the tax deducted, they sigh, and they move on. But there are tools written right into the Income Tax Act designed to fix this. This brings us to the first and most powerful strategy, the income switch. This is not a loophole. It is a well-established CRA-approved strategy based on something called a prescribed rate loan. But your bank will never tell you about it, and your tax preparer probably doesn't know how to structure it. Here's how it works, in 3 simple steps. Step 1. The loan. The higher income spouse, let's call them Alex, creates a formal, written loan to the lower income spouse, Sam. Let's say the loan is for $200,000. This loan must charge interest at the CRA's official prescribed rate. This rate changes every quarter, but the beautiful part is that once you lock it in, it's locked in for the entire life of the loan. Step 2. The investment. Sam takes that $200,000 and invests it in a non-registered investment account. This could be a simple, low-cost index fund, a portfolio of dividend-paying stocks, whatever. The key is that it's invested in Sam's name, and it's expected to generate income, dividends, interest, or capital gains. Step 3. The switch. This is where the magic happens. All the income and growth from that $200,000 investment is now taxed in Sam's hands, at Sam's much lower marginal tax rate. Sam also gets to deduct the interest they pay on the loan from their income. Alex has to claim that interest as income, but because the money is now growing in a lower tax environment, the family unit comes out way ahead. You've effectively switched the income from a 50% tax bracket to a 25% tax bracket. I can hear some of you screaming, but I don't have $200,000 in cash lying around. I get it. Most people don't, but you might have that much in a non-registered investment account already. You simply sell the investments, create the loan with the cash, and your spouse immediately buys the exact same investments back. The market exposure is the same, but the tax structure is now completely different. Or you could use a home equity line of credit to fund the loan. The possibilities are huge. Now you might be thinking, this sounds complicated. It's not. It's a one-page loan agreement and a couple of extra lines on your tax return. The real risk isn't the strategy. It's making sure you do it correctly. The interest must be paid by January 30th of the following year. It has to be a real loan, not a handshake deal. Let's quantify the payoff here. If Alex is in a 53% tax bracket and Sam is in a 25% bracket, shifting the tax on, say, $16,000 of investment income can easily save you $4,000 to $5,000 every single year. That's our foundation. That's the engine of our $10,000 tax steal. Tax savings from the income switch, $4,500. But we're not done. That's just the engine. Now we add the boosters. Let's talk about the medical multiplier. Most families have medical expenses that aren't fully covered. Braces for the kids, physiotherapy, prescription glasses, therapy sessions. Most people just collect the receipts and the higher income spouse claims them because, well, they're the one paying for it. This is a huge mistake. The CRA allows you to claim medical expenses that exceed 3% of your net income. For a high-income earner making $200,000, that threshold is $6,000. You have to spend $6,000 before you get a single dollar of credit. But for the lower-income spouse, Sam, who might make $40,000, the threshold is only $200. The medical multiplier strategy is simple. Pool 100% of the family's medical expenses and claim them all on the lower-income spouse's tax return. It doesn't matter who paid for it. The CRA allows this. By doing this, you cross that 3% threshold much faster and with a much larger amount, dramatically multiplying the tax credit you receive. For a family with, say, $5,000 in orthodontic and therapy bills, this simple switch can mean the difference between getting a zero credit and getting a credit worth $1,500 back in your pocket. Tax savings from the medical multiplier, $1,500. Now we have the engine and a booster. The total is up to $6,000. Let's add the Afterburner. This is one you may have heard of, but 9 out of 10 people use it inefficiently. I'm talking about the Spousal RRSP. The regular RRSP is great. You put money in, you get a tax deduction. Simple. But the Spousal RRSP is a strategic weapon. Here, the high-income spouse, Alex, contributes to a Spousal RRSP account that is owned by Sam, the lower-income spouse. Why is this so powerful? Because Alex, who is in that 53% tax bracket, gets the immediate massive tax deduction. A $10,000 contribution instantly saves Alex $5,300 in taxes. But when the money is eventually withdrawn in retirement, it's Sam who takes it out. And because Sam will likely be in a much lower tax bracket in retirement, the family pays far less tax on the back end. You're getting the deduction at the highest possible rate today and paying the tax at the lowest possible rate tomorrow. It's the ultimate tax arbitrage. If you have a spouse who earns less than you and you are not using a spousal RRSP, you are voluntarily lighting money on fire. A modest contribution strategy can easily generate a tax refund of over $3,000 per year just from this one account. Tax savings from the RRSP Afterburner, $3,500. So let's add it all up. We have the income switch, our engine, generating $4,500 a year by shifting investment income. We have the medical multiplier, our booster, saving another $1,500 by strategically claiming expenses. And we have the RRSP Afterburner, generating a refund of $3,500 by optimizing retirement savings. What's the total? $4,500 plus $1,500 plus $3,500. That's $9,500. We're right there at our $10,000 goal. And these aren't aggressive one-time tricks. This is a sustainable, repeatable system you can run every single year to legally and ethically redirect thousands of dollars from the government's bank account to yours. You have a choice to make every tax season. You can continue playing defense, hoping you filled out the forms correctly and just accepting whatever bill or refund they give you. Or you can start playing offense. You can look at the tax code the way the wealthy do, as a series of incentives and strategies waiting to be used. The income switch, the medical multiplier, the RRSP Afterburner. This isn't a fantasy. This is a system. Imagine next April, instead of dreading your tax bill, you're actually excited because you know a five-figure refund is on its way. That's what happens when you stop playing their game and start using their own rules against them. Your future self, the one who is enjoying a richer retirement because of the choices you make today, is going to thank you for it. Now, I'm curious, what's the single biggest tax surprise, good or bad, you've ever received from the CRA? Drop it in the comments below. I want to hear the war stories. And if you want to see how to pour gasoline on this entire system by turning your mortgage into a tax-deductible machine to fund the income switch loan, you need to watch this video on the Smith maneuver right here.